everyone. Welcome to Dialogue with Khuraira. If you are new to this platform, Dialogue with Khuraira is about showcasing people that are doing incredible things in their various community for the betterment of humanity. We call them the unsung heroes because they might be doing great stuff, but because the spotlight is not on them, you barely hear of their achievements on changing people's lives one city or village at a time. So we showcase them so that way they would share the story, tell us what drove them to be who they are, and probably from their story, you'll be inspired and also follow suit so that you can empower other people or change other people's lives. So Dialogue with Khuraira is about giving back, about being good. We are all about celebrating goodness. You know, there's so much negativity in the world right now. We need some good news somehow. And our guests had always been inspiring. And so welcome, Dr. Waheed, to Dialogue with Khuraira.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Last week, I'm sorry, 1 second. Last week, I was not able to be here because I was dealing with a flu. I lost my voice, and I think you can still hear a little bit of it left. But I said I cannot miss this week. So thank God I'm here, and we're going to hear from Dr. Waheed Musa. Oh, how come I'm getting a lot of my last names? And, you know, do you guys just see Musa and decide to agree? So this is how we do it. So this is how we do it. I usually allow my guests to tell us who they are. And then from what you say, I will jump in and ask some questions. And some of our people will also ask questions. Okay. So welcome to Dialogue with Khuraira.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you for this amazing and life-transforming opportunity to dialogue with the whole world. And God bless you for all the amazing things you are doing, because whatever you are doing is really, really, really changing lives out there. And also people like us also listen to your show and listen to the amazing guests that you've had in the previous sessions. And then I tell you, people like us also learn from other people with high experience. So thank you so much, and thank you, and God bless you for the amazing work that you are doing, which is so important that we need to motivate and encourage you so that you can continue doing what you are doing to keep inspiring people like us and all the young people all over the world. God bless you for that. God bless you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Waheed Musa, a Ghanaian. You know, I come from Ghana. And also, I am the founder and the CEO of the International Humanity Chamber of Commerce. You know, and also I'm also the newly appointed United Nations Youth Diplomatic Affairs and Relations Special Envoy. And also, I'm also the newly appointed African Youth Union Commission General Secretary. You know, so I have a lot of positions that are occupied, and then what I believe in life is, I believe that young people like myself should be given the opportunity to brighten themselves and also to be able to take part in decision making to transform the continent. Yes. I was so fortunate to attend a diplomatic meeting with the ambassador of Angola today at the Angola Embassy here in Ghana. Yeah. Where I engage with the ambassador on how we can partner together to transform the lives of young Africans across Africa. And then I stand today to work with other nations in building their young generation for them to really be the today, tomorrow, and the future leaders. I don't believe the youth are just the future leaders. I believe the youth are today's leaders, tomorrow's leaders, and the future leaders. So we need to really engage our leaders so that we can be part of decision making, so that we can make decisions for ourselves as young people. I am hosting the 5th edition of the International Humanity Conference on the 25th May this year. And the 25th May is the celebration of the African Union's Day. I have been speaking a lot, and I have told Africa that every 25th May, we see our leaders going to AU headquarters to talk as leaders. No, they need to begin to allow young people to take part in decision making, and also to take part in the processing of the decision, and also in the implementations of the decisions. Because a continent who always deny their young people to take part in decision makings, it means they are building leaders who cannot manage the affairs of the continent. So they are our elders, and we are the young ones. So there should be a balance in this life equation where old and young ones are the same thing, making life transform the continent, which is very, very important. So I am a strong advocate, and I always tell people, Waheed Musa means the possibilities of the impossible. That is the meaning I have given myself. So when people ask me, who is Waheed? I always say Waheed is the possibilities of the impossible. So anybody out there who believe in themselves, who believe that they are the possibilities of the impossible, it means they are practicing what we call Waheedism. So Waheedism is the consciousness of the possibilities of the impossible. And ideology is seeing yourself as the solution to every problem that comes across. So that is how I define myself. Yes.
Wow. I have learned a few things in just spending like what? Literally 7 minutes with you. I love
thank you.
Impossible. I love that. I love that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is the meaning I've given to my life. That is the meaning I've given to my life.
And you're walking the talk. And you're walking the talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Because you just said something when you said that you're still in the office and you're the first to come in and the last to go. And that is really what sometimes we lack with a lot of youth. And I love the idea that you said, and this is what Dialogue with Khuraira is about. It's really giving an opportunity for young people to mingle with other people, to learn from you what makes you great, what makes you succeed and fail, and when you failed, what did you do with that failure, and how did you bounce back? So this is all that we're gonna hear from you, because a lot of times also people feel like, oh, Waheed is Dr. This, is this, is that, is that, is that, and he just became overnight. No, it's a journey. It wasn't like just a spring of things. You stumbled upon a lot of stuff before you became who you are today. And I just want the youth to understand that if you see someone making a name, what this show is about is telling them how you made the name, what obstacles did you go through? Because a lot of times that is happening back home, we are always into instant gratification, which is really why a lot of people feel like they have to be in politics in order for them to matter. But what you're saying now, you literally, I don't even know how you got into our show, because most of our people, our guests are coming from Nigeria. So maybe you will share how you got to Dialogue with Khuraira. And now Nigeria and other countries are going to hear your story, and vice versa. So it's going to be a whole small community. So just share with us, how did you find out about Dialogue with Khuraira, and what are your strongest, or what did you stumble upon when you are building your career, and what do you do best to move you to where you are? I think it's great for people to know that.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You see, I always tell people, when everything you do, your intentions is geared towards life transformation. No matter in which the corner you find yourself, you will shine to the world, and the world will hear about you because you are doing something, and what you are doing is really transforming the lives of people. And that is how I came across your show. So I think the United Nations newly elected president, the United Nations Youth Association of Nigeria
Yeah.
president. You interviewed him on your show.
Oh, really?
So I saw the video, and then I began to watch the interview, and then I went through your page and went through other amazing interviews that you've had in the past, and then look at some of the speakers, and wow, but by the time I finished scrolling through one interview to the other, I ended up learning a lot. I thought I was in school. So please be ready to graduate, because I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot through your show. Yes, so that was how I was able to come across your show, and then I reach out to you, and here we are today. Yeah, I always tell people, if you're a young person and you fear to fail, then you are not ready to succeed in life. Failure is one thing we must accept, whether we like it or not. Even science has proven it to the highest level of intellectual state, where we say every reaction has a corresponding reaction. So if success is a reaction, then failure is the opposite reaction. You have to accept it, and you have to love it, and you have to make failure part of your culture. Because the reason why a lot of leaders today fall and they can't rise is because they fear to fall and they fear to rise again. So what makes a leader a powerful and great and resilient leader is when you fall 99 times, you can rise up 99 times.
So
I'll
true.
list the people. Yes. So whether we like it or not, the one who is always at the bottom of the ground doesn't fear falling, because already is down there. So once you are down there, you don't need to fall. You don't need to fear to fall, because you're already down. You see, so how can I be down and then I'm afraid of falling? No. So young people, we are still young. We don't need to fear falling. I always tell young people all the time, no, each and every time you make mistake, always learn from your mistake and move forward.
Yeah.
And then there was a day one guy visited me at my office, and they was telling me about a family problem. Hey, I have family, my uncle doesn't like me. I said, love anybody who dislike you. Because I always tell people, if people don't go against me, then it means I'm not doing something right. I want to have enemies as much as the population of the world. When you don't have enemies, you will never succeed in life, because enemies are always there to help you to propel for greatness. They challenge you to be great, but people don't know that. So whenever I do something and then I see somebody is trying to oppose me, I'm always happy, because now I want to prove the person wrong, that yes, this is Waheed. So all the time we should appreciate people who are opposing us and people who are criticizing us. It's good. People can say, oh, you are this, you are that, you are this. Tell me one African president who has never smelled insult in Africa before. Africa is the only continent where we insult leaders every day. In fact, African leaders, they are the most strongest human being in the world, because they accept every insult. You see, so young people need to begin to learn that once you're a leader, people will insult you. Once you are doing something right, there will be some forces that will go against you. And look, we have today, you can never prove yourself to be a person of integrity anymore, because people, what they hear, they always want to believe. Once you can ask the person of their side of the story. So now the problem now is, should we continue to prove ourselves to people anymore? The answer is to me, no. Live your life to the fullest and enjoy the amazing thing that you are doing, because even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was not left alone. Even Jesus Christ, may his soul rest in peace, he was never left alone. So how more you, an ordinary human being? Until they crucify you, until they stone you, it means you are not doing anything right. The way they crucified Jesus Christ, every leader will be crucified. The way Prophet Muhammad's enemy, upon all that, a man who has never done any bad to any human being was still discriminated for his greatness. So that means every human being should be ready for the worst. So I always love challenges. If I find myself in an environment that do not challenge me, I don't like it. So I always love challenges because that is the only way I can bring out the best out of myself. And that is the only way I can prove myself. And that is the only way I can show the world what I am made up of, which is very, very important. You know, so to my young generation, believe in yourself and always know that you are the today, tomorrow, and the future leaders of Africa. And because of that reason, you should always stand on your feet. You should always stand to solve problems. So always solve problems all the time and don't be part of the problems, but solve the problem and solution sustainer. So that is what I always tell young people. I have failed many times, and then I have fought many times, and I keep rising every day. That is one thing about me. You know, sometimes, but there's one interesting thing about me is that I became very smart and intelligent when I was 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, I could sit and reason with 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 a high level person. I could communicate with you, I could reason with you at that younger age. So when I was young, a lot of so my friends were high people. People were I was 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, and my friends were 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years old. So you can imagine for me to be able to interact with 12, 10 years old, interacting with 60 years old. What are you going to tell the person? What experience do you have to be able to communicate?
You are an old soul. You are an old soul.
Yes, exactly. So I started winning my awards when I was at the age of 10 years. I won my first award at the age of 10 years. And today I've won almost over 451 awards all over the world.
451 awards?
Yes.
Wow, you are the impossible.
And I've organized.
Yeah. So what
and
is
I've organized 46 activities, engaging activities, you know, and also, so we thank God. We thank God.
Among all the things that you have been doing to change life, what touched you the most? And okay, before I get to that, I actually love what you said. If you are not being talked about, then something is wrong.
Exactly.
You know? So I totally, and now I get it. I needed this. I needed this for me personally. I needed this talk today. So actually, you helped me for what you said, because you know it's so true. As a leader, sometimes you are like trying to be the best you can be, and then you still get attacked, and people say this, and you just have to have a thick skin and say, yeah, okay, did I do everything I'm supposed to do, and I'm still not people are not seeing what I'm doing. Okay, good. It's just a part of growth. It's part of being a leader. So you just have to suck it in and move on and keep changing lives. So I like that. I hope the youths hear that.
You see, and also let me add to that. If the world don't talk about you, then you are not succeeding. If the world don't talk about you, then you are not succeeding. If you don't if you are not attacked, if people don't say bad things and good things about you, it means you are not doing enough. Yes,
I like that.
It means you're not doing enough. So the more people talk bad or good about you, then it means there is something unique in you that they are not and they can't be. And that is why they are talking about it.
I hear you.
Because you only talk about things, you only talk about things you wish. You only talk about things you wish you can become or you can do. But you don't talk about things that
try to tear it down if you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I get you.
So when people don't talk about you,
among some of your outreach that you've done, what is the one that really touched you and that you felt that you've done that had really have created a lot of impact through what you're doing? I know that you do like the annual thing and you're meeting different people, but there must be a particular program that you've done that you felt had really impacted people's lives that you would like to share.
Yes, thank you so much. Actually, I have two programs that are dear to my heart out of all the programs that I've done.
Yeah.
And one of the programs is the International Humanity Day. It's a day I declared on every 30th June for the whole world to celebrate and appreciate themselves as human beings, because it's not easy for any being to be created as a human. Yeah. It's not, to be a human is a whole big task. It's a huge responsibility. So for God to see you and not creating you like goat, sheep, and cow, but created you a human, you need to celebrate that. It's a great achievement. It's a big, great achievement. Wow. And I always say we have days we celebrate, like birthdays, Valentine's Day, Eid al-Fitr, the other, Christmas. But have you ever thought of why are we not celebrating ourselves as humans?
I never.
It's very important.
I know, but
yes, it's very, very important.
I could have been a chicken, you know.
Yes, and enjoy yourself.
I never
sit down one day and say, today I'm celebrating me and I'm celebrating myself as a human being. Yeah. For you to come to the world and for you to create this platform for people like us to be interrogated, and also for others to also be inspired, for others, my dear, you need to celebrate it. So that is why the International Humanity Day is a special day for human beings to appreciate themselves, to celebrate themselves, and also to bond to each other, to celebrate the coexistence and existence of the human race. So the International Humanity Day is also known as the World Humans Day, World Human Beings Day. So it's a day for human beings. Because the reason why I declared the day was a story that really touched my heart. Because I've come across a lot of young people who don't want to be themselves anymore, who lack low self-esteem, who like young people who are low confident because they don't have hope anymore. They don't have hope in the continent, they don't have hope in their countries, and they don't have hope in their family. So I said, no, you being a human being alone is the greatest hope God has given you. So what else do you need again? This body called human, this body in me, or this body that God have given me, God have given me 2 eyes to see, a nose to smell, mouth to eat and talk and interact, hands to carry, to do a lot of things. So you need to appreciate that. Yes. Look, I always tell people, money is not the measurement of impact. Money is not the measurement of impact. What we create is the measurement of impact. That is why the creator, is called the creator, because the only language you understand is creation. Creation.
Like
so
that.
Every human being who creates, you are the image of God. Once you are the image of God, you will create and create to make a life transforming impact in the world. So people must understand this. And also the greatest platform that is so dear to me is also the International Humanity Conference. Okay. The International Humanity Conference is a platform established to bring young and old together to dialogue on critical issues that is disturbing the continent and the way forward. And what we do is that we bring experts together to come and join these young people who have a lot of problems, but they don't have solutions. So these experts will come in for these young people to interrogate them, and then they have discussions. And then, dialogue is very important.
Oh, yeah.
The first stage of solution is dialogue. The first stage of solution is dialogue. If there's no dialogue, then there's no solution.
Yeah.
which everybody must know that. So dialogue is the first
that
stage.
if we're having a productive dialogue, you know, not
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
You see, so when you are able to give young people the platform for them to feel self-confident, for them to be able to interrogate leaders that they find it difficult to go around them, we bring them out for these young people to interact with them. And also today some of them are their mentors, and some of them are helping them in their own ways, and some of them are doing so much well. Like, I'm so grateful to see that. I'm so happy, you know. I'm so
So
very
this
happy.
is International Human Day, which is June 30th. Do you do it live or virtual?
Yes, so what we do is that every country will celebrate their own way, in any way, planting of trees, going to the orphanage home to share food, and also you yourself, you can be in your house and celebrate yourself, and cook for. And also it's a special day where we want people to be engaging with other people, like your neighbors. You can cook and share food to your neighbors. You can go out with your kids and go out to town and go and do charity work, go and share. If you go to work, buy some chocolates, some biscuits, something for somebody,
Just
and say
make a
happy.
reason for someone to smile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, because somebody need some conversation that will make you smile, and you brighten up his whole life.
Yeah.
People want to be happy. People want to smile. I always tell people, never wait for somebody to make you happy. Because if you don't learn to make yourself happy, no matter what anybody will do for you, will still not make you happy.
So true. So true.
So true happiness must come from you before someone can make you happy.
Yep. And it's always important to love yourself. If you love yourself enough, you can understand anything, you know.
Exactly.
So,
And that is why it is International Humanity Day, a day for you to appreciate yourself as a human being, and for you to also coexist with others. That is what we are celebrating. And that is what we are talking about.
You know, one thing that you just said, appreciating yourself as a human being. I think if we look at it in a larger context, it's actually now this whole thing, oh, he's black, he's white, or he's Indian. You should be appreciating that all of you have the same genetics, but just that maybe your color is different, your all, whatever, but you all are made the same way. That you should be happy that you are not some bunch of goats, or that will be slaughtered any minute. You know, being a human is precious. You don't take a human and kill them for certain to do this. You can't do it. But when you are an animal, you are something that it can be taken anytime to be eaten. You know, this. So you said I never actually looked at it that way. I'm going. No, I never. So this is like something that it's new, and I hope that the many people that are watching this, June 30th is Humanity Day, and I don't know what day of the week it might be, but my programmer, maybe you can put it down if it is going to be something that we can actually celebrate on Dialogue with Khuraira. Maybe we can bring like 8 or 6 other guests from different things to discuss and have fun and talk, and maybe get some traditional food, celebrating our food, you know.
Yes. I'll get my Hausa cocoa ready. Exactly.
So, and what I really love, honestly, I love this. This is the great thing about featuring people from diverse background and fields. You learn so much every day. I'm learning every day, you know, and it's making me a better person. Like last week, I learned from, 2 weeks ago, I learned from the other guest who was talking about, Islamic banking, which nearly brought, kind of almost broke the country in Nigeria when it was introduced. And then when he was explaining it, and he says there's also the Christian version of the Islamic banking, and he's quoting the Bible, and he's quoting. I'm like, wow, I didn't know all
Wow.
that. Do you understand? So
Wow.
you like learn
Wow.
different things from people. And I feel like you, as a humanitarian, having all this award, you must have inspired so many people across the globe because
It's
of
true.
you traveling or doing your thing, and definitely. There are some stories that have touched you, that humbled you. So if you don't mind, like sharing one or two of those stories, I think I'd
Yes.
love to hear.
Yes. 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 So my journey, what really inspired me was when I was young. My father established a private school
Yeah.
in a town in Ghana here called Yeji, and
Okay.
Yeji is in the Bunu East region of Ghana.
Okay.
So Yeji is where one of the largest man-made lake in the world is. So you people can come for tourism to come and to come and swim in one of the largest man-made lake in the world and cross one of the largest man-made lake in the world. Yes.
Wow.
So, and also please put it on your calendar on the 25th May.
Uh-huh.
I'm inviting you to Ghana as our international special guest to the
Wow.
conference.
Well,
So after the year, we will facilitate that behind closed doors. You must be in Ghana.
well,
Yes,
let me
yes,
tell you something. You know, my favorite country, other than, of course, Nigeria and the US, these are my countries. So I can't, like,
yes.
Ghana. I
Wow.
love Ghana. I went to Ghana twice.
Oh,
And
wow.
yes, I
Wow.
was in Accra. We
Okay.
went to the Ashanti gold mines, so we
Oh,
stayed at the
wow.
guest house there. And then also Labadi Beach. You know Labadi Beach.
Hey, then you are a Ghanaian.
I
You
know.
are no more in
So
Nigeria. You are a Ghanaian now.
I love your fish. You know the fish with the very spicy oil. Ah, and what is that? What
Wow.
is that fufu that you make like really kenke or whatever it's called?
Yes, Kenke, Kenke,
Oh,
Kenke.
you see, I know
Ah,
my thing, right? You know,
in fact, you are not a Ghanaian. In fact, we'll give you Ghanaian passports.
I know. And then we drove to Kumasi,
Oh, wow.
and then we
Wow.
also went to Tamale. Is it Tamale or Tamale?
Oh, in fact, you are a Ghanaian. You are a Ghanaian.
No, so I was saying that if my Nigerian people don't want me, I'm moving to
Yeah.
Ghana, you know?
Please, in fact, Ghana need you. Please, Ghana need you. In fact, we need you here. In fact, we need you.
But
If
honestly,
you don't come, we will come and bring you to Ghana.
thank you, thank you. But I really love Ghanaian people. Ghanaian people
Okay.
are the most hospitable people and very, very straightforward. You know,
Uh-huh.
no, I'm
Uh-huh.
serious.
Uh-huh.
I'm
That's good.
serious.
Oh, yes, yeah, that is true.
When I moved from Nigeria to the US, I moved to California. I went to California. The family that adopted me in California, they were Ghanaians. So I had
Wow.
more Ghanaian friends than I ever had Nigeria until later I started getting into the Nigerian community in the US. But even up till today, my friends are mostly Ghanaians that are based here because when I started, but I lost a lot of them when Rollins introduced the Exodus to bring in all the diaspora back to Ghana. So I lost a lot
Yeah.
of my friends there. I remember one friend that he's called Captain Aqua. His name is.
Wow.
I always
Captain.
said, I used to wonder, I'm like, is that really your name? He said, yeah, that's my name. I said, how can somebody be called Captain Aqua? But he's really his business card, and he was the president of a credit union in Pasadena
Wow.
in Southern California. So very, 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 very established. Really, Ghanaians are also like Nigerians. They study, they have professional jobs, but they're more disciplined than Nigerians. I will
Yeah.
tell you that. When it comes to, they're actually too strict discipline. So
Yeah.
I really have, a great experience with the Ghanaian community, and that is why I was invited to visit twice to Ghana to visit. That's how I got to go to Ghana. So
Wow.
yeah, I cannot wait to come back to Ghana so I can eat all that food that I mentioned, you know?
Yes, 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 yes. In fact,
trips,
your third coming to Ghana, you enjoy Ghana so much well.
Oh, so
yes.
I might not be coming back home, right? I'll say, okay, bye bye, America.
Exactly.
My brother,
Nigeria president
had adopted me, you know?
Yes, Nigeria president have to send diplomatic corps to come and beg us to release you.
Well, it would be great. But you know, the thing is that Ghana and Nigeria are almost like, you know, good rivals. You know, one is always trying to outdo the other, you know? But it's always, you know, Ghana always have to beat us a few legs and then we come and catch up. So it's been like that all the time. And talking of Ghana, the transformation of Ghana now, it's incredible. I get these videos. Your airport is even better than some of the international airports here in America. How did it come to be that way? Like, walk us through. Oh, is everything going well? How is the economy in Ghana? Is it getting better? What are the jobs? All of that stuff.
Yes. Thank you so much. Ghana is not different from any other African country because our problems and challenges seems to be the same. But I think that one thing about Ghana is that we have leaders who are very determined, and also Ghanaian people too are pressing people, because when you don't do things right, they will always let you know. That is one thing about Ghana. So, and also our leaders are always closer to us. So we always have the opportunity to point to them what they don't do well and what they have done well. And we give them credit for what they've done. And we also screw them when they don't do it right to us well. Ghanaians, when you're a leader, you don't do anything well, oh my God, unless that they don't go on social media. Don't go on social media at all, because your BP will always go high.
I like that.
Your BP will always go high. So I think that we have the best democracy in the world. Yes, in the world. It's not Africa, in the whole world, because we are one of the most peaceful country. It's only in Ghana where you see Christians and Muslims are living in harmony and are living in peace. And also we have one of the best electoral election processes in Africa, because each and every time there's election, no matter we've had successful transformation, successful transition of power from one government to another for many years to now. And we are still enjoying our political peace, and we are still enjoying our religious peace, and we are still enjoying our cultural and diversity and then inclusion. So I think that I always say this all the time: a nation where peace prevails is a nation that will succeed. Because if you have peace at home, you will surely have peace in the world. So because we have peace, that is why our economical standard is always reasonable in Africa, because there is peace for any investor to come and invest in the country. And if also once there's
investment, so
yes, you know, so peace is a tool for economic transformation. I always say this all the time, because right now in Ghana, we are in our general election period, because we'll be selecting new president by the end of November, December. So the country is in a political mood right now, because of we'll be going for election very soon.
That's wonderful.
Yes. So which is very, very important. You know.
So
Nana Noah top. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, that is the president of the royal chiefs in the whole Ghana.
Who?
Yeah, so he came to me and then
Oh,
so
he's
I'm
here.
going down there.
Oh,
Yes, so
we cannot keep the royal person. We don't want to get in
yes,
trouble.
I'm on interview in Nigeria. Yes, okay. So that's nice.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. He can
Good.
join us in the conversation if you want, you know.
Good.
But so,
Good.
yeah,
Good.
hi.
So
How
you
are
are
you?
coming down. So talk to him.
Sure. Okay, then Deborah. Okay. So that is so good luck. Yeah, sorry.
No problem, no problem. You know, African people, we don't make appointment, we just walk in.
Oh yes. So I'm in the office right now.
Yeah, I saw that you were saying. So I would also
Yes.
have like so the economy thing that they're talking about, like, oh, they said that you guys have all that development, but the Chinese have taken over your government. Is that truth or not true?
Yes, you see, in fact, this is a very interesting topic for me because
Yeah.
One thing I want Africa to understand is that if we don't economically and industrially empower our generation, in fact, Chinese, Russia, and America will take over Africa again. And I'm
Yes.
telling you that
True.
because of the fact that the young generations of Africa don't have the skills to industrialize the resources available, and that is why our leaders are selling these resources to the foreigners, because they believe that if you give an African, a Ghanaian or Nigeria diamond, what is he going to use it to do? He doesn't have knowledge on how to transform the diamond to something.
Yeah.
If you give a Ghanaian or an African a bauxite, he doesn't know what to use it to do, because he lacks the basic knowledge about bauxite and what he can use bauxite to do. So we lack industrialization, and that is why the leaders know, oh, for my people and myself, we can't transform these resources, so let's sell them to those who can transform it. And the reason why,
which is unfortunate.
yes, and the reason why these people always come to Africa to buy our resources is because they know how to transform these resources.
Yeah.
And that is why. Because if they don't know how to transform these resources, they will not also come to buy these resources.
True.
So Africa. So for us to have a new Africa is where or when the young generation of Africa can industrialize the resources of the continent. And that is the only way we can have a new Africa. Because we can't be a new Africa if we don't know how to industrialize our resources. No, it's impossible. You know? So I will speak to my young generation of Africa for them to learn how to industrialize the resources so that Africa can be sustainable.
Yeah.
So for Africa to be sustainable is when the young generation are part of decision making, are part of the industrial discussion towards how they can manage and transform the resources. Look, I always say this all the time. Africa is the most richest continent in the world. No continent is America with their gold, America with their dollar still are not richer than Africa.
Yeah.
China with all their technology and everything are not richer than Africa. But Africa, the only problem with us and why we are poor is because for far too long, the kind of education, the kind of interaction and colonization has made us to believe that poverty is real. But more, poverty is a state of mind.
Yeah.
It's just a fate, just like the way poverty is a fate. If you believe it, it will work. But if you don't believe that poverty exists, it has no effect on anybody.
So true. So true.
And that is what I want my young generation of Africa to understand. That poverty is not African. Riches is all about African. Yes. So when you say Africa, we are talking about a continent full of wealth and riches, human resources, intellectual resources. Mention it. We are the only continent in the world rich
Fertile
in both
grounds.
natural resources and human resources.
Yeah.
So for that matter, if young generation of Africa, if we begin to teach our young generation, especially our kids, our children at home, that look, you are an African because you are rich, you are an African because you are powerful, you are an African because you have the best mind, you are African because you can be a good leader, you are an African because you are the best the world has. When we begin to speak goodness into our lives, we will become the best of ourselves.
True. You know, so I have to share something with you. In 1995, I don't know how old you are, but 1995, there was a dinner held at the Hilton, Beverly Hills Hilton, where Rollins came in and hosted it, and history was made. And he came in and had all the celebrities, including Michael Jackson, at the event, where he gave a piece of land to Americans and celebrities like, Stevie Wonder, Diane Warwick, and all of that, to have a piece of property where the slaves were taken out. And let me tell you, and also gave people in diaspora the opportunity to come back home and invest. And I think that was, I'm not sure, but I think that was what also helped boost the economy of Ghana and also increase the value of your currency. How are they? Are they still there? All those people that were invited back, or they've come back to America?
Yes, you see, there's a message for the diasporas.
Yeah.
You see, and the message for the diaspora is that Africa, there can never be a sustainable Africa if the Africans and their diasporas are not united and are not one and are not discussing towards the future of the continent. Because whether they like it or not, Africa is their root.
Yeah.
And Africa is where they have control and power. Yeah. For far too long, look, I always say this all the time. Africa is the most disciplined continent you can ever imagine. You understand?
Yeah.
Africa is the most disciplined continent that you can ever imagine. And also the only continent that value human rights. Because those who are preaching human rights, they don't value human rights. America has failed humanity because there is no peace between white and black till today. Sure. Blacks are still being molested. Blacks are still dehumanized. Blacks are still demoralized. Blacks are still discriminated till today. What kind of country is that? A country that projects themselves as the best place to be because they have both sides of human beings as one. And then it's not true.
True.
Because up to now, until whites and blacks can live together, can reason together, until a white man will say, a black man is my brother, and a black man too will say, a white man is my brother, we will never have a peaceful world.
Yeah.
There will never be peace in this world. Because America has failed humanity. America has failed humanity because they are still discriminating against blacks till now. We still have some parts of America where blacks don't feel safe.
Yeah.
All the time. Blacks, they don't feel safe at all. How can it be? Look, we are promoting what we call a global tolerance. And what we say a global tolerance is where any human being who finds himself in any continent, in any country, on any land, once you are a human being, you are one of them. That alone qualifies you as a human being. That you being a human being alone qualifies you to live in any part of the world.
Yeah.
And every nation must protect you. Yeah. But it's only blacks, it's only Africans who are always dehumanized, discriminated, molested any part of the world that they find themselves. It's very wrong, and this is why I am celebrating African Union on the 25th May, because we want to talk to Africa. We want to talk to our leaders that AU cannot sit there and watch this happening to their African brothers, African sisters, and African children. How long are we going to accept this?
Yeah, it's true.
How long are we going to accept this? No, we need to have interaction. We need to sit with American government. We need to sit with every leader in the world and tell them, hey, any country who touch a black man, discriminates against a black race again, we are cutting you off from our country. And that is how they're supposed to go about it.
I like that.
Any day America will discriminate. Yes, that's what we need to do. Any day America touch one black person, we are cutting America from the economic interaction with Africa.
Yeah.
And none of their embassy will ever be in Africa again. That is the way to be serious, and that is the way to solve such problems, because we are talking about human lives.
Yeah.
Human lives is involved. How long
for a second you sounded like Mandela. For a second.
Yes. Because anytime I'm talking about Africa, I'm so passionate about it. I don't know, but because I love this continent so much.
We are talking about diaspora and then the African people, but there's this disconnect between the Africans at home and the diaspora. So the Africans actually treat us, even though we do a lot of good, we send in a lot of money, but they're always antagonizing us that like we are not, it's like we're a whole different species. Even though this is our country, this is our families, our home, we do so much for our families back home, which in doing so also spills
exactly
the economy. But there is
it's really very sad, no?
Huh? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Dr. Waheed? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm saying that, yes, we want the diaspora to go home and invest, the diaspora to do that. But when they get home, they're really being treated like they are not even part of the country. You know, it's a tough place for them to be back home sometimes, you know. And it's sad. I think that if that...
Do you know why? Do you know why? No, do you know why? Do you know why? If they say so, it's a lie. Because if they say so, it's a lie. It's because they are those who behave, they are not part of us.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you behave differently, people will see you differently.
Yeah.
I get to me. So when we talk about cultural inclusion,
how do you see them acting that they are different from you? Because I'm in diaspora and I love everything about my back home. I love to help. I love to uplift the people, but sometimes I feel like I'm being told you don't belong because you live abroad. So how you know, it does happen, you know. And I know a lot of friends, especially like we have an association of Nigerians in diaspora that have a lot of money that want to invest back home. They trust someone, the money is being embezzled, or when they go in there, it's like, you know, so, but you know, there are different classes of people and we cannot generalize. But I'm sure there are people that, you know, come home and bring resources back home, hospitals, schools, you know, a lot of different things, but still feel they're not totally accepted. Is that true or no?
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that you see, culture is a very powerful thing. When we say culture is very powerful. Yeah. If I go to India right now and I want to enjoy India, I have to live like them. I have to believe what they believe. I have to become part of them.
Yeah.
There is there's a proverb that says, anywhere you go, make sure you live like the people. If you go to Rome, you do what Romans do, isn't it? So this is the issue. We have some diasporas, not all the diasporas, excuse me. Not all the diasporas, you know. So we have some diasporas. We have some diasporas who are African. Their body is Africa, but their mind and heart is something different.
I get you.
And we have some diasporas who their body is Africa and their heart and mind is Africa.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
So when I said that, you should understand what I'm talking about, because
I get it. I know.
Yes, because we see a lot of diasporas coming in every day.
Yeah.
And I tell you, look, I was even in a meeting with the president sometime, and I was even telling them that they failed us because all these diasporas coming to Ghana. What are you showing them? The only thing you're going to show them is the tourist attractions, the slave trade. No, there's more serious business we can do with them.
Yeah.
Their vast land, we can show them land. Look, diasporas, we are giving you this land. Come and develop it. Come and build hospitals. Come and build schools. Come and build.
Let me tell you something, Dr. Waheed. This is the time you guys can do that. This is the time you guys can do that, because especially African American communities, like for us diaspora, we take it for granted, right? I have my family anyway, regardless. When I go home, I have my family. But think of the African Americans that were taken out as slaves. And I was talking to a friend of mine in California, and he is his great grandparents were brought in as slaves, and he went and did a DNA, and he happens to be a Fulani from Ghana. So he is saying, he's saying the first time I met him, his features, when I saw his features, I joked with him. I said, you must be Fulani. Even you know, like your family over there, you must have been your family. They came from the Fulani tribe. And we laughed about it. And that was like 30 years ago when I met him. And we're still friends. So the other, like 6 months ago, we're talking about, you know, his wife was invited to speak at this African gala. And he said, Khuraira, I just felt like I'm at home. And he went back and did a DNA, you know, the DNA testing. And he said they told him he's a tribe, and that is it. So he's telling me, I wish I can have a family home in Ghana. Do you understand?
Wow.
So there is that possibility. The only how we can get the African Americans to do that, there has to be a dialogue. You remember you said it's important to create a dialogue, to let them know that actually, yes, we want you home. We want you to call Africa home. But who is telling them? Nobody is telling them that. When they come in to do the tourism, they want to go to the slave place, how their great-grandparents were taken out. Nobody is telling them like what you just said, Dr. Waheed. Listen, this is a vast land, you know. Actually, before they come in, get their profiles. Who are they? What do they do in America? You know? And then sell them on what they do. You can have like literally 5 Americans that will come as diaspora and invest and open a whole factory because they have the money. You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't sell that to them, how are they going to do it? You know, so what I think with your humanitarian aspect you're doing, I think that is something what you should start thinking, like doing the diaspora and African Americans summit and invite people in, and then give them opportunities. And I would tell you this, they will put together the money to actually open factories. So, you know, they can invest there and make money because they have the money. They want to invest somewhere, but here it's too expensive for them to invest. And then their dollars will be stretched even more when they're investing in Africa, you know? So I think that you are on that. So talk to your president and all the other African people African president that they should explore that. And hopefully, you know what, we will have the industries in Africa, and we will have industries, you know, creating value chain by Africans for Africans. Okay. And that will also help reduce poverty. And at the same time, while you are doing that, you also have to talk to your leaders. What are they going to do to protect these diasporans and then the African Americans that want to invest? How are they protecting their investment? That needs to be put in place as well. You're not just going to have people come to invest when they are not even sure if they will get any return in investments. So yes, we could do all that.
You see, Ghana has done so much well when it comes to diaspora engagement. I can tell you that. Ghana is the only country in Africa that has done well to sustain the relationship between diasporas with their roots. You know, so I will give credit to the Ghanaian leaders for they've done so much well, because we are the only continent right now. We have established diaspora policy engagement in Ghana, and also we have created a whole policy and laws to help diaspora to live in Ghana, to work in Ghana, and to stay happy in Ghana. So I think Ghana has done so much when it comes to that, but we still have more room for improvement. And we still have more things to do to improve ourselves. Because we even have a whole office at the office of the president in charge of diaspora relations and affairs. We have a whole director in the office of the president in charge of diaspora engagement and affairs. So if a diaspora want to come to Ghana, the president has an office that is so dear to him in his own office, for that office to help in diaspora engagement and also in diaspora interaction and then policy and everything. So I think Ghana is taking a bold step in making sure that our diasporas are safe and our diasporas are welcomed home, and also our diasporas too can also live in peace and harmony with the Ghanaian people here in Ghana. Because I always say this all the time: if you are an African and you see another African as a stranger or as a different person, then that means you are not an African. Because the true meaning of Africanism is all about unification. And that is why the world fear the unification of Africa, because they know if any day at all Africans should rise and unite, that is treasure. That is treasure for us, and that is victory for us, and that is prosperity for us, and that is what the whole world don't want to see. They don't want to see a united front of Africa where Africans are together. There is no borders and barriers to separate me from somebody in Nigeria. There's no borders differences between me and Togo, and me and Benin, and me and any part of the world. I can move freely to any part of the African country, right now, trade and business.
Isn't that happening right now? Isn't that the free borders? Isn't that happening now? You don't need a visa to go to Nigeria.
The free borders they are talking about, what they are talking about is on paper. It's not really effective out there. Yes, people are still struggling to move.
Oh no!
You see, if one country has a free border and 54 countries doesn't have, what does it mean? We are talking about every African country, the African Union, because right now we have free African Free Continental Trade Center. What are they talking about? They are talking about Africa trading for one market. So if only we are preaching the gospel of one market, and we have different currencies within the same region, how can we enjoy one free market? This is a free market. We can never enjoy free market. Free market can be possible if our currency is one, and if we can intertrade among ourselves without limitation, without any obstacles within barriers. Before I can move from Ghana to Togo just here, I have to change my currency.
You have
to cross borders.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yes. I have to change my currency, and I have to cross border, and I have to be scrutinized, and I have to be going through all this stress. Just Togo here. Then from Togo to Nigeria, I have to face the same thing. I have to change my currency. I have to pass through border.
Forget about it. I'm not going.
Yes, you see.
No.
So
I get what you're saying. I hope we get to that. But you know what? I think with the young people, the youth you are advocating for, there's so many brilliant youth that are coming up with different ideas, and they also are creating a global village, you know? So which I'm sure they will one day, like I have 3 kids in college, and they all like part of the African Union. And they have kids across Africa that go to their colleges, and then they also have their countries, their parents' birth countries union that they are part of. But they keep telling me, because and I will agree with you where you are saying sometimes diaspora say that they love their people, but they're not teaching their children the culture. So my kids, when they were growing up, I will tell them, you can't do it. You know, in Africa, you can't do this. They will laugh at me and say, Mom, please free us with this African thing. Do you know now that they're in college? They're so into the African thing. They will tell me, Mom, make sure you bring me the Nigerian kaftan when you're coming back home, because I have to use it for our party. So one of them actually called me one day, and he says, Mom, thank you so much for teaching us to appreciate our culture. Because right now I understand what you are talking about, that we are with part of the African community. So like I want to say to the diasporans parents out there, you know, don't forget where you come from. I know our kids can be stubborn sometimes and roll their eyes when you tell them something about Africa, but you keep instilling that in them, and eventually they will fall in love with it, and it will be, you don't have to struggle when you take them back to Africa. And I think that is one of our core responsibility as parents, raising our kids in diaspora. So we are over an hour, and I want to say, I know it's late over there, so I want to thank you so much, Dr. Waheed. So we're gonna
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, I have a small message for African Union.
Okay, go ahead.
African Union is the only mouth with a teeth, but they can't bite. They are afraid to bite. So what we the young generation of Africa, we want to tell our leaders in the African Union is that they should look. Foreigners are mishandling their people, even on their own land.
Yeah.
Even today, a Ghanaian cannot walk into any embassy to feel comfortable, to apply for visas, and feel safe, and feel okay, and feel belonged. And we have African Union. And we have African Union. That shouldn't happen. You see? Yeah. Because I was watching a video on Facebook, and a woman, I don't know whether it's Kenya or Tanzania or Morocco, one of the countries, the woman was saying that a student had a scholarship to study in America, and they went to the embassy to apply for visa for this young girl, to enable her travel to US to go and further education, because she had admission. And the embassy can look at this girl and deny a visa. Who does that? If we are promoting, they deny a visa. Oh, they are denying visa anyhow. Oh, for visa, they are denying it anyhow. If people, I will look for the video and share it with you. I will look for it. I was scrolling, and then I saw it.
That is unacceptable.
Even people. So why are they denying student visas? Students, young people who are going there to acquire knowledge. Why are they denying their visa if they believe if they truly believe in education? So you can't deny student visas and you come and tell me you want to promote education. What
No.
does it like? It doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
Africa, we really need to rise, and we really need to be serious when it comes to matters like this, because anywhere and in any part of the world where Africans are being disrespected, the African Union with our leaders must react and let them know, hey, you are touching my people. You don't mishandle people for any other reason. They have right to live in any part of the world. They have rights. Once they are human beings in that land, they have right to live there because they are humans. And these are the message I wanted to go far to the leaders of UK, to the leaders of America, to the leaders of Germany, Canada, all those countries. Look, Africans are also human beings.
Yeah.
So they must accept them. They must learn to live with them. And they must, you see, acceptance is very, very important. Because when you are accepted, it means you have your freedom.
Yeah.
But when you are not accepted, it means you lack freedom.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the message I want the African Union to be serious about, and then they should work on it, because Africans in any part of the world must be respected and must be protected. When in any part of the world they find themselves, they are also human beings. So the security of any country where there are Africans, they must also protect Africans. So Africans in China, it is the obligation of the Chinese president, it is the obligation of the Chinese security to protect the Africans in China. So,
yes.
so the Africans in America, it is the obligatory of the American president, and also it is the obligatory of the American security to protect the Africans in America. And also to UK, it is the right and that is the responsibility of the UK leaders to protect Africans, and the security of UK, it is their right to protect Africans, because they are human beings, and then they must be respected. Yeah, I think I can hear you. I can hear you. So my message to Africa is, every young generation of Africa, believe in yourself and believe that you are the change and the transformation of Africa. So that is my message to the young Africans. They should believe in themselves, and they should never underestimate their values, any part of the world they find themselves. They should keep fighting for their rights, and they should keep fighting for their freedom. Even if they will kill them, they should keep fighting for their own freedom, because freedom is very important. Yes. Because if you don't have your freedom, it means you are not part of the human race. So far as we are humans and we are part of human race and we have human rights, then every part of the world must respect Africans, and they must also live with Africans, because Africa is one of the most peaceful countries, one of the most peaceful continents. Because Europeans come here all the time. Asians come here all the time. We have Lebanese in Africa, we have Chinese in Africa, we have Americans in Africa, we have everybody in Africa, and we are living with them. Look, there's a secret of slavery that people don't know. Do you know how the white people were able to enslave the blacks? It's because we are hospitality people. We are welcoming people. They came as visitors, and we welcome them. We gave them water. We gave them cola nut. We gave them palm wine. We gave them everything, because we are loving people. But because of their evil, because of how evil they are, that is why they were having bad attention, and that is why they enslaved us. In the middle of the night, when we were sleeping and all our eyes were closed, they came and stood with guns, and then they shackled us, and now they want to tell us that we are not human beings. What are they talking about? Some of us, at least, we know history, and we know what
But
you see.
But Dr. Waheed, my last comment before we leave, I think in order for the countries like the one abroad respects you as an African, it should start from your African leaders. Because if your African leaders are not allowing people they're not respecting their citizens, that is not right, you know. So they need to be able to respect, fight those countries where their citizens are, to make sure that they give them equal rights as those how they give their people when they come to us. But I think sometimes the African leaders slack in that, and they don't push back when their own citizens are being maltreated outside. So I think that if we're going to get that true change, of course, it's both ways. We communicate with the countries where we are, our people are, but also our government also need to protect us when something like that happens to us, you know?
Yes, that is true. And then if you had me, Leon, that's what I said. My message to African Union is to rise and stand, and not to be mouth with teeth but they can't bite. So their biting means they are standing to insist to protect their rights and the privileges and the values of their people towards any nation who is disrespecting their people.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And that is what I mean by they shouldn't be mouth with teeth but they can't bite. They should be mouth with teeth and they can bite. And when they are biting, they should bite so hard that they can feel that, hey, these people are serious, and then we must give them what they are asking for. Yes, because we can't be in a continent where a foreigner will come to Africa and come and take our resources. We own the resources and give us 1% interest of the resources. What kind of continent is that? And we can also live in a continent where our currency has no value and our currency is disrespected all over the world. Why should I live in Africa? Why should I live in Ghana? And my success and my suffering and my pain is determined by the rate of $1. Like, are we serious as a continent? Who does that? What is dollar? Who and what is dollar? So we as a continent with the best economicians and the best academicians, we can make our currency one of the most powerful currency in the world. It means we are not intelligent. Yes, because that is why we are suffering. We are suffering because those who colonize us are still colonizing us economically.
Yeah. When you have no economic power, you're still a slave. Period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How can somebody living in Nigeria, somebody living in Ghana, living his own life, living in his own culture, and then they'll tell you how much you earn and how much you get is being determined by the rate on which the dollar moves. And where is dollar? Dollar is far away from me. It doesn't make sense. Like, as an intellectual person, it doesn't comprehend. Like, the mathematics, I can't get it right.
So true.
So we can't wake up one day and say, hey, Nigeria, your currency is great. Ghana, your currency is great. And now our currencies is now fighting with other currencies.
Yeah.
Ha! Abba.
Yeah.
Come here, also academy. Wanga ba ankali chiki ai. Wanga ba ankali chiki wanga. Ba ankali chiki.
No, this is the time for us to say good night to everyone. Dr. Waheed,
okay.
This is just the beginning with our conversation. God willing, we're gonna have you back to celebrate Humanity Day, and
yes,
that is one take that I got from you, and then another take I got from you that is Waheed is equal to impossible. All right.
Yes, the possibilities of the impossible. Yes.
The possibility of the impossible.
Yes.
So I thank you so much, sir, for your time, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers have learned so much from you. Your energy is contagious, and please say hi to my Ghanaian family. And
okay, they will hear. And we can't wait to invite you to come and eat the kenke, the fufu, the bamkus, and everything.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much
for watching Dialogue with Khuraira, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week and another interesting guest. I'm so excited. Actually, last week I got 3 women that are from here in America that saw our show, and they want to be part of a Dialogue with Khuraira. So coming March, it's Women Celebrating Women's Month. So we're going to be celebrating incredible Amazonians across the globe. If you know any great woman doing incredible, young, old, in between, that is doing incredible things in your various community, the month of March is going to be all about these wonderful women. So please let us send their information and let's celebrate them. Thank you all for watching, and please share our our blog, share our TikTok, share our Facebook pages, YouTube, and let's have a lot of great people to join us so we can spread goodness in the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and good night from here. Bye.